Hi everybody, Tasha here from Pixi Mommies Reborns. Welcome back. To everyone new, hello and welcome. So you're looking at baby Judith. I'm just here kind of hanging out, soaking her all up. And I figured I would chat to you all for a little bit. So good morning, happy Saturday, and happy Father's Day tomorrow for all you dads out there, grandpas, uncles, godfathers, moms who play both parts. Just all of you, happy Father's Day. So Judith here, I will introduce her. I'm trying to get you all good light, so I'm moving her thing around because I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm blocking the light. Oh, there she is. She got her hat off. So Judith is the Promise Sculpt by Marita Winters, and she was reborn by me. She is now the 5th baby that I've created in the Pixi NICU here. She's my first little Nano Preemie, micro nano. And oh my goodness, I'm really definitely so smitten with her. Oh, and she has on a new little set I got just for her. It has little doggies on it, has little booties, and it's a little NICU tee, and it has little hand mitts. So, I figured, I realized that I forget that I don't share a lot out here with you all on my channel, as far as like, you know my journey in reborning. I mean, obviously I share a lot here, and my collecting and the dolls in my collection, and of course I've been sharing my finished babies. And so I thought I'd talk to you all a little bit. um I'm getting a lot of questions, in comments, and, just coming in various ways and stuff. So I thought I'd chat with you all and let you see this little sweetie. Let me see if I can get close up here. I think one of my favorite things that I did with her is the Lanuga painting on the sides that I also rooted, to kind of just make her hairy like the micro preemies tend to be. And she's got some like bruising on her temples, or, well, not necessarily bruising, I guess, but that's just the way that these babies are, they're what their coloring is, these little micro preemies. Oh, why aren't we focusing now? So you know what? I'm going to put you all up on the tripod, and maybe we'll give her a little diaper change. And then we will chat a little bit. All right, so let's see. All right, there we go. And try to stay close up on her for you all. There's a little bit of a shadow. I apologize about that, but at least you can see her cuteness. So anyway, speaking of membership, if you do want to come on in behind the scenes, and follow my journey more closely, and reborning and collecting, and be in my exclusive live streams and stuff like that, there's always a link down below, or you can click the blue join button next to subscribe. It is $1.99 a month. It's all inclusive. You can cancel it at any time, and you must be 18 years old to join. But for less than the price of a cup of coffee a month. Come on in and check it out. So let's put our little passy in. This is a little bitty honey bug. It's a micro. They have preemie honey bugs, and they have the regular size, they have preemie, and they have micro. So I got her a micro. I really enjoy finding not finding, obviously, like the honey bugs are right there at the doll suppliers, but I enjoy looking for and getting the little, kind of mini micro stuff. There's something about things, like anything, on a small scale that I just find super adorable. So, I'm so pleased with her hair. She has a custom blend of Susan Nagel mohair, and oh my gosh, I love Susan's hair. It's been my favorite as a collector on dolls that I've had, in my collection, and of course now having the opportunity, she's rooted with it, Elliot's rooted with it. I think Sabian partially has some. He has a mix, and I'm trying to think if E.MAIL does as well. But yeah, in my membership, I'm sharing more of, what all the needles that I've tried, what I'm using now, supplies, trials and errors, successes, errors, like kind of it all, the best that I can. So one of the reasons why, or the main reason why, that I'm not sharing like works in progress out here as I go along is I'm finding that it's good for me to have the quote shelter and privacy of what I'm doing, so that, because I just kind of go into hibernation and focus and take my journey when I'm like deep in the midst of, painting and rooting. And I just feel more comfortable at this stage being a beginner, at reborning, that like I want to share it, I want to vlog it, I want to document it, and share it somewhere. But it's just more comfortable for me, and I'm less overwhelmed, because like even when the babies are finished, and now most especially Judith, it's, I don't want to say it's anything in a bad way, there's just a lot of curiosity, a lot of questions, and I was actually very taken back by how many people contacted me about purchasing Judith, as well as other, babies that I've worked on. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I kind of felt or feel like that I'm I have a unique taste, I guess, if that's, and I didn't really realize that so many other collectors, kind of had this same taste, or, I just didn't. So it's definitely, an honor. And I definitely will very soon be letting go of some babies that I have done. or that I will be doing coming up. It's not gonna be like a mass production kind of thing. I never intended this as a business or anything more than to to paint dolls for my collection that that I was happy with. Now, of course, there's just so many sculpts out there, and I'm enjoying it so much that I kind of really want to be painting as much as I can. So, obviously, my house would fill up, and the well would go dry if I didn't let some babies go. Excuse me. Home to some special mommies. And while it is true that my channel members are more, they're in there, they're privy to kind of what I'm going to be working on next. They know the sculpts I've purchased, or most of them. Um, uh, and they see when I'm starting a baby, and all of that. So, you know, it's just because of the fact that they're in there, I can kind of take a mental note um of who might be interested in what sculpt. And by interested, that would mean like first right a refusal. Obviously, I'm not taking customs, I'm not making any specific babies for any specific people. Chloe, stop. um you know, I don't I think that that would be just not work well for me. And I don't need to, so it's just gonna, yeah, it's just gonna be every baby that I have created so far, and that I will create. Like when I tell you that I don't stop until I'm 110% happy that I've made the baby the way that I want it, and to the best of my current abilities. Um, I spare no expense, in and anything that I'm putting in. So I couldn't be like, oh yeah, I'll make a baby to fit somebody's budget, and cut corners and things like that. Like I can't, I won't be able to create that way. So, you know, I guess it'll probably be a smaller niche of collectors that I don't, you know what, I don't really know. I don't really kind of know what to expect. I'm kind of, you know, I don't know. I just don't, yeah, I just don't know quite what to expect. So we're getting there. We're getting there where because it definitely will bring me probably even more joy to see you know babies go home, and love to know that someone is gonna love them and appreciate them as much as I do. And because I know as a collector how exciting it is to be bringing home that special baby. And I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around the thought of that any collector would feel like a baby that I've created would be that, special for them. Like it's hard for me to compute. I'm needing time to soak it up. I could have let Judith go. I'm gonna paint more. Like this is not a limited edition sculpt. So whereas like E.MAIL was a limited, the half pints limited edition, like, so I definitely could have let Judith go because, although I wouldn't paint the same sculpt exactly the same, it's still, I'm sure that I have many different um, visions, versions of this kit I'd like to do. Well, and not to say that I wouldn't do like a twin for um uh Judith, but it obviously the baby and that could be exactly the same because that's not, nobody can do that. They're all unique in their own way. Um but I would only do like one twin, one similar. I wouldn't want to just keep cranking out the same exact, baby because there's too much there's too much fun. There's too much, too many ideas. I'm like a kid in a candy shop. Like everything's just swirling around in my head. That I want to try this, I want to try that, and I'm not afraid to just kind of try it, do it, or whatever because I'm making them for me. And even if I'm making ones that potentially could be sold, all of them are being made, quote, for me. And then if I decide that at the end that, I'll part, that's, kind of how that would go, I guess. You know, because I never, ever, ever would sell a baby that I wouldn't want for my own collection. So, I mean, even down to the cutting the hair, it takes me like 12 hours. I sit, I go back, I wet it, I dry it, I take a little while, I come back. I want it exactly how I want it and how I rooted it and envisioned it to be. And then you got to cut it to, get it that way. And so, right down to that, if I'm pondering which direction I'm going to go in painting, I could sit there all night and just do only one layer because I'm, you know, picking it up, looking, going back, picking it up, looking in this light, looking at that light, maybe waiting till morning and having morning light. Like I'm just, I don't know if it's my OCD or what it is, but I guess because I'm just having so much fun, that the time's just flying by, and my mind is going and I'm thinking and I'm learning as I'm doing everything. So, therefore, it just doesn't feel like um, work, I guess. I mean, it does, and you get to certain points, and with the rooting, I'll tell you this. I think I shared this in membership. Painting the tiny ones, actually, it took me longer and more went into her than the even bigger preemies. Because there's just so much opportunity for detail. And then rooting, that's a whole different story. Rooting the tiny head, it actually takes longer, even though there's less space to cover. It's actually more work. Which I like, I love, because I love detail. I love hyper realism. So the more that I can work and get it to have that look, um, the happier I am. And then, of course, you don't want to go too far over the edge. So at a certain point, you start finishing up and realize it, okay, it's getting close to, where I want it. And so that's what's kind of been going on, except I've been kind of almost sharing a play-by-play inside membership. If you're curious, I encourage you. It can be canceled at any time. So, buy a cup of coffee, check out what goes on in there. But I will share a little bit more out here, and definitely just kind of sharing with you all my raw feelings because I give it to you all straight. And, you know, this is how I'm feeling right now. I'm at that crossroads. I'm getting ready that I'm gonna be letting PIXI NICU babies, you know, go. It's not gonna be many, as I said, because, you know, I'm just, you know, it's not like I'm doing this full time or anything like that. Um, and, you know, and of course I've been getting questions, well, how do I, you know, buy a baby? How do, you know, that sort of thing. And I honestly just don't quite have an answer for that. I've been telling people for the most part that those inside my membership, you know, are going to kind of get first dibs. It's a perk of membership. But also taking into consideration, see, I didn't expect that, you know, certain collectors would be contacting me, and um I just didn't. I just, you know, like, it's one thing your friends and the people that, you know, have been following you for a while, that know you well, because part of it, I feel like, oh, they love a baby just because I made it, you know, not but then when you get people that you know are interested in the art, and, you know, it's not you personally, then that's like a different ball game. And, you know, I'm not going to exclude those people either. I have to, in some way, I guess, be selective. And I want to see, you know, no matter what stage someone is at in you know, painting and rooting and reborning, um, the tremendous amount of yourself and your time and your work and everything that goes in, you you're going to want your work to be loved and appreciated. And if someone is, you know, on social media, you know, showcased nicely, and, you know, just to see somebody, like, it would truly break my heart to see any of my babies. And I'm assuming that anybody that paints, I mean, most of y'all that paint are actual artists. I don't consider myself an artist. I'm just a collector who's painting. But, you know, I'm sure that everyone feels this way, that it would be devastating to not see your work be cared for and appreciated, and, you know, stuff like that. I'm not worried about, like, you know, babies getting sold on and things like that, because as a collector myself that buys and sells, I know the deal, I know the drill. I know a lot of times you let a baby go that you still love and that there's absolutely nothing wrong with, but you're kind of chasing that next thing. New sculpts come out, and these dolls are expensive. They're expensive to make, they're expensive to buy. So most of us do have to, you know, make sacrifices and things like that. So that in itself would not make me, you know, feel bad. It's just when the collector has possession of the baby, that they would be, you know, taking care and enjoying it to the fullest. And then hopefully, if they're going to sell on, it would be to the next collector that would love and enjoy. Um, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's something that I'm gonna care about. And so it's, again, I don't quite know what to say, because I haven't really quite ironed everything out. Oh, you all not getting a good view this whole time. All right, well, at least you got close. I am so sorry. Let me get you all up a little more. Okay. Look at her. I mean, she's just, oh my gosh. I'm just like, I'm so in awe of her. Plus, I'm still phoning over Ishmael and Elliot and Sabian. It's almost like I'm getting too many new babies too quickly. So yeah, I definitely want some in-betweens that are gonna be going home. So that I can really, really so that I don't overwhelm myself the way that I tend to do with my collection when I'm buying, you know, bringing dolls in. I tend to do that to myself. And I don't want that to happen with my own dolls. Because then that takes away some of the special magic of, uh, each individual one getting that beginning time with me. So, yeah. I guess I feel like I'm going like painting really slow or coming out with babies really slow, but in essence, I guess I'm not. Of course, other I'm talking to other, people that are just beginning their journeys in painting. There's a lot of people that started painting around the same time that have already cranked out 10, 20 babies, so that makes me feel like, well, this is only my fifth, so in that respect, I feel like it's slow, but I'm also not, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't know. I'm just doing my thing. So, although I don't have like firm answers for you all. Oh, and I get a lot of questions on the NICU supplies, which are things that I've been collecting for years now. So I can't answer one specific place that you could go get all these NICU supplies. Some of them were given to me from people in the medical field. Like I can't, there are certain things that are readily available that anybody can find. So, you can look things up, but and then also with my little NICU babies, like I don't know who's gonna be interested in NICU props or who just would want the babies, just for the, tiny little, babies. But the NICU prop, the things are can be pricey. But I'm looking into, trying to stock some things. And this way I can put like a little add-on option of a NICU, package, should so that the new mommy doesn't have to go crazy ordering from here, there, everywhere, hunting down things. I mean, it's only going to be certain things that's accessible in that way that I can make available. But what I can make available will be a signature little package from the Pixi NICU. So y'all can go find the stuff just like anybody else did if you want to go buy things individually. But otherwise, keep your eye out because some things will be available to go home special with my little NICU babies. And just kind of like my brainstorming at this point. So, the next round of what's coming up, what's going on to my table, and things like that, I think soon. So tell me in the comments, are you all excited to see actually who will be the first mommy, the first collector to bring home a Pixi baby? Are you excited? Because I'm excited to know, because I'm not sure exactly who it's going to be, because I can't start sculpts with the intentions of it that way. And I'm on the fence of who's getting painted next. So it's only going to be like, I kind of have a little mental note, to give first right of refusal at this point to, so I don't honestly don't know just by chance what baby and who it'll wind up to be. So it's exciting. It's a little nerve wracking because, as I said, I may love what I'm, doing so far, but it's like, oh my gosh, I hope, somebody else will, but, and I will bend over backwards to, point everything out and show because I need people, to be 100% thrilled and happy. Otherwise I'd rather them skip. you know, um, Obviously pricing is another thing that you think about at brand new. But there are standard crafters formula for, any handmade items, that I know many artists start there. And I think it's a good place to start. I think it's a fair place to start, because you're just, as somebody creating something handmade, when you get to the point where you feel like, okay, I am ready to, make something available, like you've been, working, practicing, whatever you've been doing, um, there's just kind of standard formulas, that you just add your supplies and then, times it and just, it's just standard crafting. Um, so I'll probably use something like that to just be fair. And I only have that one practice baby that I loved the painting, but I wasn't thrilled about the rooting. I don't want to put that out there to anybody. I don't want to put that out there as a discount because it's just, I guess, a pride thing. And I thought in the beginning, oh, maybe I'd have some boo boos, some practices, that I can offer to people that maybe can't quite afford or whatever. But it just didn't work out that way. And um, I have a great sense of pride and accomplishment. And yeah, so that's just where I'm at. So I figured, I haven't completely ironed that out, but I think I have an idea, and then we'll see how that goes as well. I certainly know as a collector what, you know it's hard to evaluate your own work, but certain things, yes, I know. Um, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me know if y'all make sense. Let me know if you all have any suggestions in the comments. Let me know if you all are excited, will be excited when the time comes to see a Pixi baby or Pixi NICU baby go home? Will you want to follow its journey? Do you hope that the first baby goes home to somebody that's on social media so that you can still follow the baby? I'm just curious to what everyone else is thinking about seeing Pixi babies go home. It'll be a slow trickle. That's all I can say. It'll be a slow trickle because in Pixie Magic World, everything happens on Pixie time. So, I've never marched to the beat of everyone else's drum. I've always marched to the beat of my own drum. Always, always, always. Those of you that have followed my channel and that know a little bit about me, know that. You've heard me say that. And more than saying it, I'm sure you have all seen it for yourselves. So, but for whatever reason you're here, or however long you've been following, or know me or don't know me, I'm so glad you're all here today, with me today. So please, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Give Judith a big thumbs up. She's a tiny little sweetie that deserves a big thumbs up. Again, happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. And I'm actually really excited to hear what you all have to say of what your thoughts are about babies, you know, at a slow trickle, leaving my nursery, and just like the whole thing about the first baby. If you do paint or you are an actual artist, and where, you know, at your starting point, were you nervous at this point, like getting ready to sell, and, you know, just, I don't know, just, I'm just, you know, I love to get feedback from all of you that have been at all different stages. So, all right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. And until next time, God bless.